Are you moving from the UK to Canada? It is easy transition, right? I mean, we both speak English. We both love to drink tea. So how different can it be? Well, let me tell you, because within the first few weeks, I realized I was in for a ride, and here are the biggest cultural shocks I faced after leaving the UK for Canada. So, before I start, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Adiola, and I always bring you content regarding fashion, lifestyle, and my life with living in a new country. And for a little bit of context, I lived in England for about 20 months, and I have now moved to the UK, where I have lived here for the past 8 months. So trust me when I say that I know a thing or two about these two countries. So let's get the ball rolling. When I moved to Canada, I thought I would fit right in, but from the moment I landed, I started noticing things that made me stop and wait, like, what is really going on in this country? Because if you are moving from Canada or anywhere else, or perhaps you are just curious, you want to know some of these things. So let's keep it moving. The first thing for me is that these people are nice. Like, they are really nice. You see it on their faces that they genuinely love people. They genuinely want people to come to their country, to go there, to grow their country. And to me, that is really special, because you're like, what is really going on? Because where I have come from, it's just like a nod, or maybe just when your eyes meet, it's just like they just give you a 1 second smile, and it just gets really awkward real fast. And they also ask you, you're right, but they don't really care to get the response. But here in Canada, it's like they want to know where you've come from. They want to know everything about you. They are starting to tell you things that you didn't even ask them. And I just wonder, like, what is going on? Why are these people so curious to know about you? And I've come to realize that they really care about you. And I don't know if it's a general thing for all of Canada, but I am really specific about where I am, which is Bridgetown in Nova Scotia, because I even think that it has one of the nicest people on earth. I may be wrong, but to be honest, these people are very friendly and super polite, and I was shocked. Who wouldn't be? The second thing for me is the tipping culture. Listen, in the UK, tipping is optional. You can just easily round up your bill if the service was great, but no one expects 15 to 20% for a tip. The other day, my husband was trying to barb his hair, and he just wanted to book an appointment on the website, and they're already asking for a tip. Like, do you want to tip anything? Why does it have to be like that? I have paid for the service, and if I'm tipping you, it is because I've experienced your service and I think that you deserve a tip. But it shouldn't be like something that is mandatory. Some people literally feel bad that you don't tip them, but then I've paid you your money now. Why do I need to tip you? Me, I'm new to these things, though. Abi, am I wrong? Please let me know in the comment section. And the third thing for me is the weather is extreme. When I came into Canada, it was just about time for summer. It was in June, and I was really shocked about how hot it was. It felt like I was in Nigeria. Like, wow. Finally, I get to feel something hot and burning, like I am back home. Because to be honest, it is not that way in UK. You would agree with me that UK has one of the most confusing weather. You are stepping out, you are seeing that it is sunny. Move 2 streets and it starts to rain. You run back to the house to grab your umbrella, and by the time you step right out, it is already sunny and you feel like wearing a short. And you're like, what exactly is going on with this country? Why is everything just like... But here, once it is summer, it is very hot, and once it is winter, I just don't want to step out. And it makes me wonder, how do these people really acclimatize and work during this time? Because to be honest, this first winter, I feel like we should even get paid for being in winter. Like, we should get paid for being in this country during this time, because it is very cold. And don't get me wrong, I was prepared, but like, wetin happen, eh? And the third cultural shock for me is that everything is big. The houses are big, the microwave is big, the fridge is gigantic, the roads are wide. Like, everything is just big as compared to the UK. I did not see anything, no. But when you go to a house in the UK, how do you expect to have wardrobe? I mean, the houses that I've lived in, they did not have wardrobe, but in this house that I'm currently living in, we have 3 different closets for a 2-bedroom apartment. So everything is big. It's like they have really thought that people would live here, and they are really ready to welcome people here. But looking at where I've come from, is like, I don't care, just sleep and wake up. Wherever you feel like putting your clothes, just fling them somewhere. But here, everything is just big. Even the food portion, when you go to the store, it is big, and you're like, why do these people do things in a big way? Even the toilet closet, the water is like a lot. You can literally drown somebody in the toilet bowl. And I'm like, wow, this is really nice. Everything is big. And the next shock for me is that meals aren't delivered to the doorstep. So there are like community boxes outside where you go to pick your meal. And to me, that was a little bit archaic, but I guess I'm just used to how the UK system is, where all doors are expected to have like this little holes where you just slip in a letter. But here we had to go to the post office to get a key, and it was just like, why is it still like this? But I totally understand, and it was just a little bit shocking for me. Like, where I've come from, I think is a little bit more on the next level, right? But I'm not complaining. It is totally fine. And don't forget that this experience is coming from somebody who is living in Nova Scotia, precisely in Bridgetown. So I don't know how it applies to every other part of Canada, but this is just something that is unique to me. And the final one, the one that I really love the most, and I wish that the whole world will take a part of this, is that all vehicles stop when a school bus stops. That is truly phenomenal. Like, there are this lights on the bus, and this just signals that when the lights are on, you need to stop within 20 meters. And this is just safety first for the kids. And it is just phenomenal to see that people are actually really very patient when it comes to kids. And to be honest, I feel like the whole world should be a doer of something like this. Like, the whole world should really copy this, because safety for kids is really important. And seeing it firsthand, at first I was shocked, but then I really got used to it, and I understood that a lot of lives would have been saved, a lot of children's lives would have been saved if this is put in place in a lot of countries. I mean, I come from Nigeria, we are not very patient people, so seeing this in action is like, wow, I am really surprised. And I must be honest with you, at first, all these differences really threw me off. I found myself constantly comparing Canada to the UK. But then I realized that every country has its own quirks, and it is all about adapting. So yes, I miss getting my doorstep meals like I did in the UK. And yes, the tipping culture still stresses me out. You need to see the way people talk about it on TikTok, like it is an entitlement kind of thing. But I'm not complaining, I'll just have to get used to it, right? Of course, adjusting isn't always going to be easy. Some days I miss the UK like crazy. The humor on the high streets, the early morning markets, going to Birmingham market early in the morning to pack some goodies. Oh my god. I also miss walking on the street and hearing a random person speak my dialect. And oh, I miss Primark. I miss Primark. Oh god. And did I forget to add, there is no TikTok shop here, and TikTokers here don't get paid. Anyway, embracing these differences has helped me to settle in low, because at the end of the day, I don't have a choice. So if you are moving abroad, my advice is to stay open-minded, expect the unexpected, and don't be afraid to laugh at yourself when you get some certain things wrong, because you won't even know that you're doing something wrong. You just be wondering like, is everything okay? So moving to Canada has taught me that both countries have amazing things to offer, and at the end of the day, it's about doing what makes you happy and really understanding your goals and just working with what makes you happy as a person. And now I want to hear from you. What was your greatest shock moving into your new country? It doesn't have to be Canada, it doesn't have to be UK. I just want to hear your experiences. What was the greatest cultural shock for you? Please drop your comments. I'd like to know below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'd enjoy watching this one or this one as well. So see you next time. Bye.